Hello. Today I want to introduce my topic, possible ways of teaching punctuation. The reason why I came to this topic is I see a lot of how my teammates, group mates send a lot of messages, but there is no full stops, commas, or hyphens when they supposed to be. So it was really interesting for me to know why students do not use it, even if they know it. Okay. And the purpose of this study, as I mentioned before, to understand the reasons and the problems that people face and why they emit it, and to find out the possible solution for this. My hypothesis is that punctuation has a huge role in English writing, specifically writing skill. Actually, not only in English but in other languages as well. And also we can decrease the level of not using punctuation by finding out the possible ways of teaching it. The novelty of the study, this study explains how L1 influences on us when we punctuate in a foreign language, and will show you one possible way of studying punctuation. For example, the significance. One of the professors wrote the one sentence, in a blackboard, and asked it to men to read it. The sentence is following. For example, men read it like, "A woman without her man is nothing." However, ladies were asked to read. They read, "A woman without her man is nothing." So like comma, dot, all influences on a reader when they perceive the information. Research participants is the 40 students of Suleiman General University, especially in the field with the languages. This is the one of the reasons of why they were chosen as participants, because they has a huge background knowledge of English, and some of them speak more than 3 languages. My research questions: why punctuation is not important for us, and what are the main mistakes made by English language learners in punctuating, and how and does L1 influence on us when we punctuate, and what are the possible solutions, how we can overcome this obstacle. So the research methods is the observation of third-year students, and we use it press-step questionnaire, and at the end of the study we also use it questions to to be more like a feedback. So when we reviewed the literature on that topic, there are studies on the frequent mistakes that students made in punctuation, and how gender, race, and language level influence on us. And one possible ways of teaching it, like one teacher used songs to teach younger learners to punctuation, but there is no studies on why students do not use it and how L1 influences on us. The research stages is following. When we've chosen the 40 students of our university to participate, then we asked them a press-survey questions about their language level, about their language background, how they studied punctuation at all, and what their perception about punctuation. And then we had the observation stage, where we first they wrote a dictation, and then we found out the frequent mistakes through this dictation. Then we explained them the real importance, and they changed their attitude towards punctuation, and we had the results. The results findings before our studying, we asked them like question how punctuation is important for them. For most of them, punctuation is really they don't pay attention for that, but there was some people who try to use it more often and who are neutral. Like the reason, like first, the answer to my first question, why they don't use it, is just they don't pay attention to it. It's not so important for them. And the frequent mistakes that they make in punctuating is the first thing is comma. They make a lot of mistakes with comma, and then we have a hyphen and semicolons. And even they know the importance of punctuation and the problems that they faced when they didn't use any punctuational marks with their background knowledge, is that they received low marks on dictations, and when their friends wrote to them, they had a lot of situations when they didn't understand the meaning of the text. Is it like question or is it a statement that they're writing to? And some of them said that they cannot express themselves in the right way properly because they don't know how to use punctuational marks. And by our research, they said that it helped them to improve their writing skills and understand how to punctuate, and also not only like the way how what we found out was dictation. Dictation is not only help them to improve their writing, but also improve their listening skill and improve their like dealing with misspelling words. So for 69% of people, it was really helpful. Some of them are not sure if it was improved or not. So in conclusion, like students really do not understand the meaning of the text, like long texts without punctuational marks. And after that, they agreed that punctuation is really important. And 70% of participants began to use it, not only when they write to authorities, but in their daily life when they text to their friends. And the possible ways of teaching it for now is the writing through dictations, teach them through dictation it. And it was proven that in English, punctuation marks are used less often than in Russian. So for further researches, this way can be continued in using in the schools and at universities, as there are other parts how dictations help them in learning English, not only with writing, but as I mentioned, with the misspelling words and with their listening skills. And yeah, we can try to find other ways of using it as well. Thank you for your attention.